Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we are playing Grand Theft Auto Online and I will be showing you the 10 best muscle cars in the game. This ranking will be based off appearance, stats, and overall performance, so it will not merely be which muscle car is the fastest, handles the best, etc. The information in the video is a compilation of my personal experience, opinions, and the stats from GTAbase.com, which I will have linked in the description if you care to check it out. And finally, I have limited the spots to only classic muscle cars, so 60s and 70s models only. No modern muscle cars like the Hellfire. If you want more modern muscle cars, that will be a video for another day. But with all that in mind, let's dive on in and show you those cars. So, generally speaking, the most commonly accepted definition of a muscle car is one that meets the following criteria. A two-door car with a V8 engine, typically ranging from 273 to 455 cubic inches, with an actual power-to-weight ratio of at least 1 horsepower to every 10 pounds of vehicle weight, and is rear-wheel drive. So technically speaking, a lot of the cars that Rockstar has listed as muscle cars in their game do not meet those criteria, but a lot of them do. And in fact, one of the cars that made my list does not meet those criteria. But for the most part, I followed those rules. So let's start it off with number 10. Number 10, the Albany Buccaneer Custom. With the kind of pedigree that just screams organized crime, the Buccaneer has always been the vehicle of choice for thugs with delusions of grandeur. But while the mobsters of yesterday had to settle for being classy and understated, today you can have access to the kind of modification that will make you a target for racially motivated policing across the length and breadth of San Andreas. Eligible for customization at Benny's Original Motorworks. The Albany Buccaneer Custom is a muscle car lowrider that is based on a mashup of the real-life Ford Fairlane and the Buick Riviera. It has 2 seats, weighs 1,600 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. This car has a top speed of 113 miles per hour or 181.86 kilometers per hour. This is a custom vehicle which can be obtained by first buying the standard Buccaneer for $29,000 and then upgrading it to its custom variant at Benny's Original Motorworks for a total cost of $419,000. The car has a speed stat of 78.34, an acceleration stat of 70, a braking stat of 26.67, and a handling stat of 65.15, giving it an overall average stat of 60.04. This car is custom, so it has a tremendous amount of customization options available once it has been upgraded at Benny's. Personally, I actually like the way it looks better before you make it a custom, simply because of the fact that I don't much care for lowriders, and I prefer my muscle cars to have a generally higher stance. However, the customization options are great with custom cars in the game. All of that is why it takes the number 10 spot. Number 9, the Declasse Stallion. Get them while they're hot. The classic Stallion muscle car's been imported from Liberty City to Los Santos. You might find some baggies or baggy rubbers tucked into the back seat, but that's part of this lady's charm. She's a dime. The Declasse Stallion is a muscle car that is based off the real-life 68 through 71 Oldsmobile Cutlass and the 70 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda. It has 2 seats, weighs 1,650 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. This car has a top speed of 110.25 miles per hour or 177.43 kilometers per hour. The Stallion can be purchased in GTA Online from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a price of $71,000. The Stallion can be stored in the personal garage, and it can be customized at Los Santos Customs. The car has a speed stat of 77.26, an acceleration stat of 72.50, a braking stat of 23.33, and a handling stat of 68.18, giving it an overall average stat of 60.32. This car has a sleek profile, pleasing aesthetics, and very affordable asking price, making it an obvious choice for a new muscle car user. It has a nice high acceleration and handling stats, which also help it perform at a high level. It only suffers in customization, where it lacks most of the personal customization options of many of the other muscle cars. For all of these reasons, it takes the number 9 spot. Number 8, the Declasse Sabre Turbo Custom. Tricking out a near-perfect muscle car like the Sabre is a fine art. A mainstream mod shop won't understand that its deafening wheel spin isn't inefficient. It's the foreplay a car like this requires. Its brakes aren't dangerously unresponsive, they're smooth and gradual. The lack of protection action isn't careless, it's thrilling. Luckily for you, here at Benny's we can serve a lot of style without adding one tiny bit of substance. It's what a car this stupid deserves. The Declasse Sabre Turbo Custom is the custom variant of the Sabre in the game, and is based off the real-life Chevrolet Chevelle and the Oldsmobile Cutlass. It has 2 seats, weighs 1,300 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. This car has a top speed of 121.25 miles per hour, or 195.13 kilometers per hour, making it one of the fastest muscle cars in the game. This is a custom vehicle, which can be obtained by first buying the standard Sabre Turbo for $15,000, and then upgrading it to the custom variant at Benny's Original Motorworks for a total cost of $505,000. The car has a speed stat of 75.12, an acceleration stat of 70.50, a braking stat of 27.33, and a handling stat of 68.48, giving it an overall stat of 60.36. The car weighs very little for its engine power, making it accelerate faster than many muscle cars in the game, and improving its braking performance, but making handling and cornering at high speeds very difficult. It has a small profile with classic angles and an attractive stance, making it many people's favorite muscle car in the game. This car excels at drag racing as long as it never needs to turn. For all of these reasons, it takes the number 8 spot. Number 7, the Declasse Tulip. Can you believe something this beautiful was once built and sold for nothing more than Joe Lunchbucket's paycheck? Sure, the 70s were a crazy time, but what the hell was that about? Luckily for you, civilization is back on track, and these days Joe's food stamps don't count for much when you and the rest of the 1% are dropping last night's poker chips for a slice of his pawpaw's blue-collar chic. The Declasse Tulip is a muscle car based on the real-life 1972 Chevelle Malibu and the 1972 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. It has 4 seats, weighs 1,545 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 4 gears. It has a top speed of 112.75 miles per hour, or 181.45 kilometers per hour. The Tulip can be purchased in GTA Online from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a price of $718,000. The car has a speed stat of 79.14, an acceleration stat of 80, a braking stat of 16.67, and a handling stat of 68.18, giving it an overall average stat of 61. This car does have 4 doors, so it wouldn't technically fit the description of a muscle car, but in the game it is convenient to be able to sit a full crew in your muscle car. It has great acceleration, decent speed and handling, but unfortunately some of the worst in-class braking. However, given that it is a 4-door car that still looks almost as cool as a 2-door muscle car, it is attractive and has some great customization options. For all of these reasons, it takes the number 7 spot. Number 6, the Declasse Vamos. Believe it or not, the Vamos began life in 1960 as a sensible, affordable, compact car. But over the course of the decade, something wonderful happened. It moved out of its parents' house and started hanging around with V8s and fastbacks. Its wheelbase lengthened, its grille expanded, and its hood got so long and flat that you could spend a whole summer of love on it. These days, it's exactly the kind of bad influence you were looking for. The Declasse Vamos is a muscle car based on the real-life Chevrolet Nova. It has 2 seats, weighs only 1,380 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 4 gears. It has a top speed of 112.25 miles per hour, or 180.65 kilometers per hour. The Vamos can be purchased in GTA Online from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a price of $596,000. The car has a speed stat of 77.8, an acceleration stat of 82.5, a braking stat of 16.67, and a handling stat of 68.18, giving it an overall average stat of 61.29. Like most muscle cars, this one has a decent top speed, a respectable acceleration, and halfway decent handling. Yet it suffers in the braking department and is therefore better on a straightaway. The Vamos does look pretty cool and benefits from some pretty great customization options, but does unfortunately suffer the same affliction as many of the newer in-game vehicles, in that it does cost over $500,000. For all of these reasons, it takes the number 6 spot. Number 5, the Declasse Impaler. Today's muscle cars might look shredded, but we all know the gains aren't real. Deep down, they're all juiced up phonies with nothing but a short temper and a tiny exhaust. If you want some all-natural brawn, you need to go old school. The big block under the Impaler's hood trains by chopping wood, benching peaceniks, and deriding the weak, and there's just no faking that. The Declasse Impaler is a muscle car based on the real-life Chevrolet Impala. It has 2 seats, weighs 1,550 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 4 gears. It has a top speed of 115.5 miles per hour, or 185.88 kilometers per hour. The Impaler can be purchased in GTA Online from arenawar.tv for a price of $331,835. The Impaler can be stored in the garage as a personal vehicle. It can be customized at Los Santos Customs. The car has a speed stat of 81.02, an acceleration stat of 77.5, a braking stat of 20, and a handling stat of 71.21, giving it an overall average stat of 62.43. This car has slightly better braking than many muscle cars. It also has one of the higher top speeds and decent acceleration and handling, making it extremely middle of the road, thus its ranking at number 5. It does have a very naturally appealing profile, being slightly sleeker and longer than the Vamos, but otherwise very similar. It also has some pretty great customization options and actually a far more affordable price tag of only $331,835. For all of these reasons, I put the Impaler at number 5. Number 4, the Vapid Ellie. Oversized, oversexed, overpowered, and understeered. This is the car that joined cheap contraception and masturbatory guitar solos to form the unholy trinity of the baby boom Americana. But before you reach for your vintage jacket and sepia filter on your Snapmatic, be warned, this old dog has torn the limbs off braver hipsters than you. The Vapid Ellie is a muscle car based on the real-life 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Eleanor, otherwise known as the Fastback, one of the coolest and most iconic muscle cars of the late 1960s. It has 2 seats, weighs only 1,370 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. This car has a top speed of 106.5 miles per hour, or 171.39 kilometers per hour. The Ellie can be purchased in GTA Online from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a price of $565,000. The car has a speed stat of 75.39, an acceleration stat of 81.25, a braking stat of 16.67, and a handling stat of 77.27, giving it an average overall stat of 62.64. Despite suffering a slightly lower top speed than many muscle cars and having the typical bad braking, the Ellie does have pretty great acceleration and well above average handling for the in-game muscle cars. It also looks awesome and has some of the best customization features in the game for a non-custom model. Plus, it's based off the 67 Fastback, and it doesn't get a whole lot cooler than that. So for all of these reasons, the Ellie takes the number 4 spot. Number 3, the Bravado Gauntlet Classic. In this world, there's muscle, and then there's muscle. Like, you technically have muscles, and then there's the guy you went to school with, the one who posts Snapmatic selfies and looks like someone spray-tanned a T-bone steak. Well, the Bravado Gauntlet just ate that guy, washed him down with a supercharged protein shake, and threw his arm around his mom at the drive-in. This is muscle. Anything else is just flab. The Bravado Gauntlet Classic is a muscle car based on the real-life first-generation Dodge Challenger, and it looks pretty much exactly like it. It has 2 seats, weighs 1,350 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. This car has a top speed of 109.75 miles per hour, or 176.63 kilometers per hour. The Gauntlet Classic can be purchased in GTA Online from Southern San Andreas Super Autos and Benny's Original Motorworks for a price of $615,000. It can therefore be customized at both Benny's and Los Santos Customs. The car has a speed stat of 76.19, an acceleration stat of 70, a braking stat of 30, and a handling stat of 75.76, giving it an overall average stat of 62.99. This car does lack the top speed of some of its predecessors, but still has decent acceleration, speed, and handling. Where the Gauntlet Classic excels is its excellent braking rating. This car is one of the best at cornering due to its higher braking abilities, and therefore makes it more suited than many of them for the streets of Los Santos. It also has the slim and attractive body style of the classic Challenger, and can be customized to look pretty awesome. So for all of these reasons, the Gauntlet Classic takes the number 3 spot. Number 2, the Imponte Dukes. A long-awaited shipment of Dukes muscle cars has hit Los Santos. Relive the old times, the 70s lines, and the smell of spermicidal disinfectant, and try not to be disappointed. Nothing's as good as you remember it being. That's your head's fault, not this car's. The Imponte Dukes is a muscle car based on a number of real-life cars, including the Dodge Challenger and Charger, but mostly the late 60s, early 70s Pontiac GTO, for which it is nearly a one-to-one ripoff. The Dukes has 2 seats, weighs 1,600 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 5 gears. It has a top speed of 112.5 miles per hour, or 181.05 kilometers per hour. The Dukes can be purchased in GTA Online from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a price of only $62,000, or it can be easily found frequently roaming the streets of Los Santos. The car has a speed stat of 77.26, an acceleration stat of 80, a braking stat of 26.67, and a handling stat of 68.18, giving it an overall average stat of 63.03. The Dukes is just like the old lead sled in real life. It's got pretty dang good top speed, great acceleration, above average braking, and middle of the road handling. It also looks awesome, being almost identical to the coolest muscle car ever made, that being the 1969 Pontiac GTO, and having a lot of great customization options in the game. This one here was actually designed by my daughter Lorian, and encapsulates the classic GTO purple that so many people love. On top of all of that, you can either buy it from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for only $62,000, or you can steal one off the street and add insurance. All of this making it clearly the best value, as well as the second best muscle car in the game overall. Number 1, the Vapid Dominator GTT. You've met the Vapid Dominator, now it's time to meet its maker. And this quinquagenarian is still the hottest piece of muscle on the road. Don't believe us? Just climb inside and let the vibrations do the rest. 0 to Don't Stop Daddy in 4.76 seconds. The Vapid Dominator is a muscle car based on the real-life 1969 through 1970 Ford Mustang. It has 2 seats, weighs 1,465 kilograms, is rear-wheel drive, and has 4 gears. The Dominator GTT can be purchased in GTA Online from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for a price of $1,220,000. A discounted price of $915,000 can be unlocked for the Dominator GTT. The discounted trade price for the Los Santos Tuners vehicles are unlocked randomly, a new vehicle's trade price being unlocked every 5 reputation levels. The car has a speed stat of 77.42, an acceleration stat of 75.68, a braking stat of 25, and a handling stat of 75.76, giving it an overall average stat of 63.46. This car averages out to be a great vehicle with above average stats in all departments, making it powerful enough on the straightaway and manageable enough downtown. It also looks awesome, being based off the iconic Boss Mustang, and has awesome customization options on the level of a Benny's custom car. It does suffer a serious side effect, that being cost, and at $1.2 million, it is by far the most expensive muscle car in the game. It does, however, have 3 cool custom livery options which help to imitate separate iconic cars. The Tin Worm Time Machine livery is based off George Fulmer's Ford Mustang in the 1969 Trans Am Championship, albeit with a rusted appearance. The old school oval livery is based on Ford Mustang's Boss 429 Orange Blossom 3, and the Resto Mod Racer livery is based off the Parnelli Jones Yellow Mustang Boss 302. And due to all of that cool stuff, it takes the #1 spot on this list. So the takeaway from this video should be that there are a lot of cool muscle cars in GTA Online. There are even quite a few awesome ones that I did not include on this list, yet I still own and drive in the game, because they're still awesome. As you can likely tell, the stats on these cars do not vary by a whole lot, so my general advice is to pick the one that you like the looks of the best, and just max out all of its upgrades, and then it will serve you just fine. But that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this look at GTA's muscle cars. If you did, be sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have the time, pop on down to the comment section and let me know what your favorite muscle car is in this game. Or if you aren't a muscle car fan, tell me which vehicles you want to see a top 10 video for next. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.